There was a lot of excess and glitz in Hollywood in the 1980s, but there was also a lot of controversy. It was always the wrong things about movie stars that made the news, like drug abuse, cheating on spouses, paternity tests, and pay disagreements. A lot of the time, Hollywood's glitz and glamour go hand in hand with scandal and trouble. It was no different in the 1980s. The entertainment business had its fair share of shocking news and scandals. That's right, this video will take you back to the 10 biggest scandals in 1980s Hollywood. There was a lot of glitz and glamour in Hollywood in the 1980s, but there were also a lot of scandals. The entertainment business was rocked by shocking news about everything from sex tapes to drug abuse. 1. Millie Vanilli were found to be fakes. Millie Vanilli were huge stars in 1989, even though they had only started making songs and signed with the label a year before. As soon as they became famous, things went wrong for them during a live show on MTV in 1989. Everything was going great until their backing track got stuck, which showed that the pop group was lip-syncing instead of singing, which shocked the crowd. They didn't try to hide the mistake. Instead, they just ran off the stage, embarrassed. Even though they went back to the stage and finished the set, they both said that after that, their careers would never be the same. They were always in trouble, and things got worse when singer Rob Pilatus was said to have said he was the next Elvis and hinted that he would be bigger than Michael Jackson and Paul McCartney put together. 2. The wedding of Madonna and Penn. People talked a lot about Madonna and Penn's troubled marriage in the 1980s. The couple's relationship was always in the tabloids, from stories of domestic violence to their public divorce. The media frenzy over their wedding showed the bad side of famous relationships. 3. Time in jail for Paul McCartney. The Beatles are without a doubt the most famous rock band of all time, so it's not strange that they did some crazy rock star things over the years. They had a clean image because they used to be in a boy band, but they were also big on drugs and booze, which got one of them into trouble. Paul McCartney was on his way to a show in Japan in 1980 when 8 ounces of marijuana were found in his bag. He was caught right away and found guilty. For his crime, he was sentenced to 7 years of hard work. 4. Rob Lowe sex tape. In 1988, actor Rob Lowe, then 24 years old, made news when he videotaped himself having sex with a 16-year-old girl in a hotel room the night before working for Michael Dukakis at the Democratic National Convention in Atlanta. CBS News and Yahoo say Lowe said he didn't know the girl was young. Following the event, Lowe had to go into hiding. However, he was later accepted back into Hollywood after making a jokey appearance on Saturday Night Live in 1990. 5. Transgression by a televangelist. The scandal-filled 1980s are full of televangelists and all the wrong things they did. One of the most well-known. Jim Bakker and his wife Tammy Faye were the hosts of the famous TV show The PTL Club. And even though Bakker said he was a good Christian, it turned out that he stole money from his church's fundraising efforts. Even worse, some of that money was used to keep Jessica Hahn quiet. The former church secretary said Bakker hit her and gave her drugs. 6. Vanessa Williams lost her title as Miss America. Vanessa Williams made news when she became the first African-American Miss America in 1984. Naked pictures of Williams from Penthouse magazine, on the other hand, quickly brought her past back to haunt her. Williams was helping a photographer take the pictures, and she was told that they were just shadows and that she couldn't be recognized in them. But the pictures were quickly bought and shared without her permission. They showed her in a lot of risky situations, like being naked with other women. Williams had to give up her crown and lose her title because of this. Even though she felt bad about winning, she hadn't really cared about the title. She was in the race to win the scholarship money. 7. Lionel Richie's love triangle came to light. His first wife, Brenda Harvey, was his childhood friend, and many people thought he would stay with her forever. After adopting a child together, their life seemed perfect, but soon things started to go badly. The pop star is said to have started seeing a dancer named Diane Alexander in 1986 and would often sneak into her house and stay the night. Harvey and Richie had already filed for divorce when she went to Alexander's house at 2 o'clock in the morning and found him there. Harvey lost all control and smashed furniture and glass. kicked Richie, and screamed. Even though her friends and family said she was gentle and kind, she was arrested for battery and assaulting a husband. Soon after, Richie married Alexander, but they were only married for 8 years. 8. People who died in Matthew Broderick's car accident. Matthew Broderick and Jennifer Grey were the prom king and queen of teen films for a short time in the 1980s. They became lovers after meeting on the set of Ferris Bueller's Day Off. They were visiting Ireland secretly just a few weeks before Dirty Dancing became a big hit. At the time, Ireland had terrible weather, and a police officer told Broderick that the road he wanted to take would be very dangerous in the rain. Soon, he was proven right when Broderick's car crashed into another on the country road, killing the 2 women who were going the other way. Broderick drifted into the wrong lane, which caused the accident. 9. John Belushi overdosed and died. He was one of the best and most popular comedians of the 1980s, but his life wasn't always trouble-free. Even though Belushi was an original cast member, he was fired and then hired again for Saturday Night Live because of his bad behavior and drug use. Even so, Belushi was able to build a career in both movies and music. He was in hits like National Lampoon's Animal House and The Blues Brothers, and he worked with singers like Tom Malone and Paul Shaffer. Belushi tragically died in 1982 from an overdose of drugs given to him by Casey Smith, a Canadian dancer and groupie. After he died, he was given a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and many famous actors and artists attended his funeral. 10. The car chase with Christian Slater. Christian Slater seemed to have a great life for a while. In the 1980s and early 1990s, he was a teen idol and was in some of the biggest films of the time, like Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, and Interview with the Vampire. He was also in some cult hits, like Heathers and True Romance. But along with the high points of his success, there were also some very low points, mostly because of his own drug and alcohol problems. Slater has been found guilty of driving while drunk twice in his career. In 1989, he was being chased by police through West Hollywood and into a dead-end alley. As he tried to climb a fence to get away, he hit an officer in the head. When the 1980s were at their busiest, Hollywood wasn't just red carpets and golden statuettes. It was also a place of controversy, intrigue, and broken dreams. We'll go over the 10 biggest scandals of this famous age. The echoes of shocking stories and larger-than-life characters will remind us that fame has 2 sides. Every scandal in Hollywood, from the arrest of well-known stars to the end of relationships that seemed perfect, will be remembered forever. That's all for today's video. I hope you found our video interesting, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon for latest updates.